shit, man. Chapter 700. Oh shit. Doflamingo has Ace's devil fruit. He has the Logia fruit. The flame fruit. Oh my god, yo. And see, it's the crazy thing, right? Like when Doflamingo's like Straw Hat, I got something that you might want, you're gonna really want to talk to him. What the hell do you have that Luffy wants? And Luffy's like, ooh, he's got meat. Oh, I gotta have this. I gotta have that meat. How many types of meat do you have? Do you have one meat, two meats, three meats? Like Luffy is thinking with his stomach. And then you find out it's a devil fruit. This is like a cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers, okay? Now, I know Luffy and the rest of Straw Hats, they get to Dressrosa, right? And when that happens, you got that moment where, where Luffy's shouting like, Doflamingo, I'm coming for you. And Usopp's like, you idiot. He's going to hear you. He's going to hear you, idiot. And then Zoro's just like, yeah, no, he isn't. Shut up, Usopp. Stupid Usopp. Like, I totally get that's the last page, but just like, I really feel as if maybe ending it off with Doflamingo saying like he wouldn't want anyone else to get the devil fruit of his brother. Man, and this is the crazy thing, right? Like ending that off would have served as a better plot, not plot twist, but a plot twist, yes, but it would have served as a better cliffhanger. But the crazy thing about that is looking at Luffy's character. Yeah, you're damn right. Like Luffy's like, oh, I can't eat devil fruits anymore because I already have one. Well, I refuse your ability to eat that devil fruit. I'm going to have that devil fruit. Like, he doesn't want anybody using Ace as devil fruit. I could totally see that. That's in character for Luffy. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Luffy goes there, kicks Doflamingo's ass, and then that devil fruit, ooh, that'd be really cool. Sanji got it, because Sanji, is a cook and everything. Sanji can make some like crazy shit. And I think if Sanji got the Logia fruit, the flame fruit, I think that it'd be pretty cool that the Straw Hats have somebody that powerful on their crew. And also, I think that that'd be a good way if you want to make Sanji the first mate, and if you want to go like the flaming hot pervert and the flaming hot cook and the flaming hot passion, all these different things, it could totally work with Sanji. I think he's also strong enough to get the most usage out of the devil fruit. And I think with Luffy, because of everything that, he and Sanji have been through, I think that, having Sanji, be the one who gets the devil fruit, he's one of the first crew members that join. That could work. Because, with Sanji, like if it wasn't for Luffy fighting against Don Krieg and then fighting against Zeph, Sanji, when they first got to the Grand Line, he knew quite a bit. And so, that would be interesting. That would be interesting if it went to Sanji, or if you really want to go for it. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to this. If you want to go for it and you want to give it to Nami, that could work. Now, both women in the crew would have the devil fruit, but, the trade-off is like, Nami and Usopp are supposed to be the normal characters in the crew, so you can't really buff them up like that. But, Sanji getting it, that would totally work. Or if you just want to make Zoro even more hacks, you can give Zoro the flame fruit, but that doesn't really fit with his fighting style. It doesn't really fit with his fighting style. So, that would be pretty cool. I know I kind of, jump more into theory than review in that case, but, you just can't introduce something like that and expect me not to, go sideways on it. So, backtracking a little bit, I did enjoy the interaction with Luffy and Doflamingo and with Law, where, you get the fallout from everything that's happened with Dressrosa, where all of a sudden you have Doflamingo. He stepped down. As the Seven Warlords. Everyone is panicking. Some of the people are like, oh my God, how is this possible? How are we going to be able to get arms without them? And, this is going to shift the tide and the war that we got going on. And people are reacting to the Luffy and I almost said Doflamingo, the Luffy and Law team up, and kids like, how did this reporter find out about our alliance? I don't care about Straw Hat and Law's alliance, but how did our alliance get found out? You know, what's going on with Luffy and Law? They must be planning to take down the Emperor like us, but which one? And I mean, it's like Luffy's generation is just, they're going for it. And I love it, man. I love it because, again, it just shows that trope of like the next generation passes the next. And it's just like with me, right? Like I'm a millennial and, you know, a lot of you guys are younger than me. And so you will be part of Generation Z. And it's like I grew up with the internet, just like Shanks and them grew up going into the Grand Line. But, you know, you guys, you were born with it, just like Luffy and them were born with the spirit of the pirates. You know, like just how we kind of pioneered the internet, you know, Shanks and them pioneered this new age of the pirates, man. They pioneered that. But it's the ones behind them that are going to be able to do what Shanks and them couldn't. It's like, oh yeah, you think you hot shit? Well, check this out. And it's the same thing with Luffy and them. And you know, it's, you know, so I like that, man. I really like that because it shows ambition on the part of the different members of Luffy's generation, which is called the worst generation. Now, the other side though, the other side to that is like when Doflamingo's speaking. You know, my dude's just talking, and he's like, "Yep, I did it. I quit the 7 warlords, just like we agreed to. Make sure you tell me that Caesar's okay." And Caesar's like, "I can't believe you actually quit. I can't believe you quit for little old me." And I was just like, "Okay, shut that nigga up." I was just like, "Shut that nigga up," right? But here's the other thing, right? After that happens, and after, you know, Doflamingo tries to, you know, pull Luffy in a little bit to basically bait Luffy. I like that. I like that. Before I tell you what happens after that, I do like that because one of the things that shows is really important is that Doflamingo, and now I'm starting to see why my buddy who told me get into One Piece said I like Doflamingo. Doflamingo was at a disadvantage. That much is clear. We can pretty much agree to that, right? Well, Doflamingo might have been at a disadvantage, but at the same time, he saw an opportunity. He was like, yeah, okay, see where this is going. All right, well, he got the upper hand on me. I'm about to flip it on this bitch. And he's already planning the counter plan. I like that. Now, the thing is like after that conversation happens and, you know, they agree with the drop off and it's revealed that like Law's like, while he's getting Caesar, that's the decoy, we destroy the smile factory he's got, and then we move on. You know, you find out that, you know, like Momonosuke's father, Kinemon, and another 2 guys were going to Wano and they got separated, right? And, you know, Luffy's like, well, I'll go to Wano together. I'm a little taken back to that, right? Because like Wano, you would think like, you know, Zoro would want to be the one that says something like that. You know, I know Luffy's all about adventure, but you know, like when Kinemon's like getting on to Zoro a few chapters ago, and he's like, you know, that sword is one of our national treasures. You know, you're a grave robber. You know, it would seem like Zoro would be the one who's more interested in going to Wano, opposed to Luffy. But I mean, I like how, you know, Oda is, you know, just putting that in there like, okay, first Dressrosa, Luffy versus Doflamingo, and then they go to Wano and they tie up the thing with Kinemon and Momonosuke and everything, and then they take down one of the emperors. I think that's the way this kind of going, unless, you know, Momonosuke and Kinemon are going to help take down the emperors or whatnot. But that's pretty interesting, and you still got the whole thing with the big mom chick who is you know, from Fishman Island. You know, you still got the whole thing from there. So I mean that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting to see how these different pieces are kind of tied together. That's gonna be really interesting to see that. But you know, overall, I mean, this was interesting. This was interesting. The other thing is like when Nico Robin is thinking about Dressrosa, she's just like, oh, she's got this picture of an old lady and everything, and it's just like Nico Robin. Like, I'm like, man, like real time, I ain't gonna troll her, but I was like, man, I thought she was intellectual in the group. That's something I could see Luffy doing. It's like, oh wow, Luffy's stupidity's rubbed off on Nico Robin. She's beautiful, but she's an idiot. Or she has idiot tendencies. The idiocy is infectious. But I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Now I gotta talk about this. Oh my God. So let me get this straight. Buggy the Clown was one of the seven warlords. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, it only showed 6 of the 7 warlords. That means there's another one somewhere, and they're potentially losing 2 because they lost Law. I mean, they lost Doflamingo, and they could now lose Law depending on what Law does. But this is interesting, but in a way it makes sense though. In a way it makes sense because, you know, if you go back to Impel Down, right? If you go back to that, everybody thought Buggy broke all those people out. And even Whitebeard was like, oh my God, he's weak as hell, but look at this shit. He has all these dangerous men following him. So it's like Oda was just building this, he was building this shit up. It's actually pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting that he was actually building that up from Impel Down. And now, oh shit, and you got another thing too. I just thought about this, right? Not only was Oda setting this up, but if you go back to Impel Down, right? There should be a scene where, shit, who is it? It's Jinbei. Like Jinbei, you got Buggy, and he's on there with, shit, man, what is it? He's on there with Crocodile, he's on there with Luffy, and Jinbei's on the bottom, right? And it's like Jinbei is carrying a former warlord, he's carrying a future warlord, and a Buggy's on top of him. And it's like Buggy just replaced Jinbei. So I mean, that's interesting. That's interesting. If Oda planned that, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive if Oda planned that, man. So, you know, I want to ask you guys that because, you know, you guys are further ahead than me. You know, like, did Oda actually plan Buggy the Clown being one of the 7 warlords? And what are your thoughts on Buggy being made one of the 7 warlords? If you had your own choice of who should be the next 7 warlord member, who would you have picked? So anyone that we've met before, who would you have made one of the 7 warlords? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an incredible day, guys.